This brings us to public forum. Under our rules, those who have signed up to speak to a particular agenda item may speak at this time. We have 9 individuals signed up to speak. First on the list is Caroline Schoonover, followed by William Mendoza and Nina Thies. Ms. Schoonover, if you would please approach the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Hi, I'm Caroline Schoonover, 1845 Community Drive, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37909. Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Hi, I'm Caroline Schoonover, and I'm a junior at West High School. And as most of you know, I just graduated from the inaugural Knox County Junior Commissioner Program. I had the honor of serving and working with Commissioner Dr. Daisha Lundy and getting a taste of the General Commission experience. The goal of the program was to empower the youth to advocate, to get involved, to speak up. So that's what I'm here to do today, to advocate, to get involved, and to speak up. Junior Commissioners Anand Patel, Gabby Sanchez Benitez, Dane Shelton, and myself put before you and organized agenda item number 48. A consideration of a resolution of the Commission of Knox County, Tennessee, urging the state legislature to support Governor Bill Lee in his executive order and recommendations to the state legislature regarding a stronger order of protection law. This nonpartisan resolution would advocate, 1, to close the background check loopholes that our state legislation currently lacks. 2, it would advocate for safe storage laws. And 3, for the enactment of an extreme risk law, which temporarily removes guns from people who pose a risk to themselves or others. I care about my own life, and I care about the lives of my peers, but I'm not the only one. If you're here in the audience as a student, a teacher, a parent, grandparent, or concerned citizen, in support of R23-4907, please stand up. We care. The students care. The community cares. Knox County cares. Tonight, we're asking you to care. I urge you, commissioners, please vote in support of Resolution 23-4709. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Schoonover. William Mendoza, please approach the podium, state your name and address for the, name and county of residence for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes.
My name is William Mendoza. I'm at 2442 Brown Avenue, and I go to Career Management Academy. I live in Courtney Durrett's district. I am here to say that we are scared. I am scared. One of the school shootings, all the school shootings are really sad. But the main one that hit me was Uvalde, when 21 students died, and most of them were Hispanic. What are we gonna do? We talk about all these shootings that happen, and sometimes it doesn't seem like it's gonna hit us, but then it finally hit us in Nashville. We are scared. I am scared. One of the main things that has hit me throughout my years of being in Knox County, I mean, I've lived here all my life and going to these schools. I remember at Head Start, we were practicing what would happen at a school shooting. And to make it less scary, they would use a crocodile, and we have to hide under the tables. And they would bring a crocodile coming into the classroom to act like if it was going to be a school shooter. Should I go through that? As a Head Start student, should I go through that? The scaredness. I remember another time when I was in elementary, we had a school shooting drill, and one of the students was actually coughing a lot. After it all finished, my teacher came and said to the whole class, if this was a real life situation, we would have been dead. We are dying. This could be me. I could be next. I have dreams. I have goals that I want to do. And because of the people in public office are not doing anything, those dreams and those goals can easily be done. It could be me. It could be you. It could be your children. It could be your nieces. It can be your grandparents or your grandchildren. This isn't about if you're a Democrat or a Republican, because a school shooter doesn't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. They don't care about that. You have a choice to be on the right side of history, because we are suffering, we are dying, and we are pissed. I urge you to please vote yes on this. A lot of people do stuff and they vote for stuff and they care about stuff when it affects them or when they affect someone that they care. As you, as a person of a public office, that shouldn't be the case. You should care for every single children, no matter if that's your children, no matter if that's not your children. You should love them all and you should care for each and every one of them. Please vote yes, because we are dying and it could easily be one of us or it could easily be one of them. Please vote for them. Please fight for us, because we can't do all for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Nina Thies, I say that incorrectly, I apologize. Please approach the podium. State your name and county of residence, and you'll have 3 minutes. Sophie Liu, you will be next. And lower the microphone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nina Thies. My address is 330 Sutherland Avenue, 37919.
Please, if you can, just get right into the microphone, okay?
Got it. Thank you. Is this okay?
That's better.
Got it. My name is Nina Thies. My address is 33,000 Sutherland Avenue. Thank you. That's good. Yeah, yes, thank you. I think that in wake of recent events, it's crucial to look at both the issue in hand and the proposed solution logically. The issue for me is gun violence, and the issue for this commission is whether or not to address the gun violence at hand. I don't mean the gun violence itself is not an issue for you personally. Rather, you as elected legislators have a decision that we don't. I know that every person in this commission cares about the well-being of Knox County students. That's why you're here, to serve Knox County. The solution to the proposed issue, regardless of the differences in that issue, is this resolution. I mention your position because I understand that there's more that goes into your opinion, that goes into your vote than just your opinion. I've worked with local campaigns and been very involved in politics since I was 12, and for the past couple of years, I've really struggled with the idea that my political identity might overshadow my personal identity. I sometimes worry that telling people that I work for a political party will grant the assumption that I'm not open to ideas from other parties or from farther opinions. For you, I assume it's the opposite. I haven't seen this addressed, but I think that if we do want to decrease the political tension in Knox County, we really have to further the idea that agreement and compromise between parties on a very polarizing issue must be accepted and not such a taboo topic. So I think that the way that you vote and what you vote on determines on how people categorize you, especially voters who are very party-centered. I think that if you claim to be a part of a party, then one day you vote on a resolution which your party might disagree with, so many voters might consider you a traitor or not as loyal to your party as you may seem, when in reality the government is not about political parties, it's about governing the people and having their best interests at heart. The key takeaway from my point here is to urge you to consider why you're voting the way you are on this resolution. That being said, I want to address the resolution itself. I felt a lot of things. I feel a lot of things in regard to the lives lost by gun violence. I feel heartbroken for the families who have lost their children. I feel disturbed that this is even conceivable for a person to do. And I feel genuine despair for students like me and like them who must walk into school the next day acting as if nothing has happened. What I don't feel is angry, not in relation to the incident itself. Initially, I was going to write a speech to convey my anger, but I decided against it because you know that we're angry. Everyone knows that we're angry, but I don't think that you know what we're angry about. We're not angry that that the incident itself happened. We are heartbroken. We feel so many things, but anger is not one of them. Our anger is directed rather at the people who claim to care, and who care wholeheartedly, but who don't act. I urge that if you claim that if you really, truly, honestly care, that you act in our best interest and that you vote And if you don't, if you know that you won't act, that you don't say anything in regard to the 59,000 students in Knox County schools who must face that the next day. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Sophie Liu, please approach the podium. State your name and county of residence. You'll have 3 minutes. After Ms. Liu will be Dane Shelton and Anand Patel.
Sophie Liu, 11237 Kingston Pike, Knoxville, Tennessee. Dear County Commission, my name is Sophie Liu, and I'm now in high school, but I was once an elementary school student, a kid wishing for a bright future. I remember after the Parkland shooting in 2018, I was in 5th grade in absolute shock over the horrors that could happen in a school. I had no idea that a place that I viewed as a sanctuary, where I spend hours a day in, where I've made everlasting friendships, was so unsafe. In 2018, I participated in a walkout as a 5th grader in hopes that someone would notice. Something would change and I wouldn't have to worry about never seeing my parents again, or my friends, or getting to live the rest of my life. And now as a high schooler, I think we've failed over and over again to promise the safety of our students, of the kids who are one day going to grow up and lead our world. It's been 5 years since I participated in my first walkout. Over these 5 years, I've heard the phrase, "enough is enough," more times than I can count. And yet I am unfortunate to report that nothing has changed. What's worse, it seems that school shootings are now more common than before. Let's take a look. Parkland was 5 years ago, so was Santa Fe. Uvalde was last year, and Nashville happened last month. I'm a student. I want to live, and I'm sure parents want their children to live as well. I want to see the change in our communities, and I want something to be done. I am horrified that the children of our generation have to worry so much about never growing up. I'm horrified at the lack of cooperation and direct action. When will we draw the line? What is enough for change? Look at the resolution we have here. All it takes is your vote and consideration to be the facilitator of change in our community. In my eyes, it is an absolute necessity to ask for stricter gun protection laws, and this resolution is the first step in ensuring safer learning environments for our students and our children. All I want to see is some form of action that is effective and meaningful. I'm not worried about the politics of this issue. Rather, I abhor at the reality of this situation. Seeing that I have the ability to advocate for those who are not here with us today, I am asking you, as the County Commission, to do one thing for us. Please use the power that you have to make sure our children can be safe at school. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Up next is Dane Shelton, followed by Anand Patel, and then Gabriela Sanchez Benitez.
My name is Dane Shelton. I live at 1242 Levelview Drive, Knox County, District 3. I'm also a former junior commissioner, as well as a citizen and a student at Hardin Valley Academy. I'm also a human being with a life that matters, just as everyone else's does. Seems to me, however, that some people's lives are deemed less important than others, because throughout our country, including in our state, countless people have been victims of gun violence with very little consequence. These are people that will never see their families again. They were killed at the hands of someone with a gun. Mothers, fathers, teachers, students, and children. It pains me the most that I have to say children. Schools have been invaded with threats and destruction and pain, ultimately destroying the sacred learning environment that we hold close to our hearts. I am beyond angry. I'm outraged. I'm outraged that there are children who will never see their parents again. I'm outraged that there are parents who will never part their children's hair to kiss their foreheads again. I'm outraged that there is anybody that has to lose a child, much less to a gun. It makes me sad to think about someone grieving for a child that is lost to such a horrific fate. They have to live with the fact that their child was shot and killed in fear and panic, screaming and crying out for parents that could have never come to save them. But above all else, I'm afraid. I'm afraid that one day I'll set foot into my school building and I'll never leave. I'm afraid that my friends, my girlfriend, my teachers will never see the outside of school. I'm afraid that in the future, when I have children of my own, that they'll suffer the same fate. I'm not the only one afraid either. I know you are too. Everybody is afraid. I know that some of you have kids and some of you have grandchildren. Do you want to get the call that your grandchild's school was shot up and you are now a family member with a victim of gun violence? Do you want the moment your or anybody else's children have to step outside of school for the last time to be in a body bag? Do you want to never be able to see your child or grandchild again because somebody came into their school and took their life? I know I don't want any of those for myself or anybody else. And I'm not the only one either. We aren't the only people scared of losing our lives, loved ones' lives, or even the lives of strangers to the horrors of a gun. That's why I'm imploring you to use your power and vote in favor of a stronger order of protection law. It's necessary for stricter gun control and protections in this state and will be at least one step forward towards sanctity returning to the school environment. It won't take away guns, and that's not the point. But it will make it harder for people who can't be trusted with a tool like that to get one. I don't want to watch my children die at the hands of someone else because of gun violence. Do you? Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Anand Patel, followed by Gabriela Sanchez Benitez and Sophia Chin.
Anand Patel, 11237 Kingston Pike. Commissioners, I'm here speaking today as a former junior commissioner, a high school student with a passion for politics, law, and spending time with friends, and a son of two loving parents. Parents who send me off on a daily trip Monday through Friday to 11237 Pike, my second home. Now, if you were to put this address into a GPS system, it would spit out Farragut High School. Farragut High School has been my support system for almost 3 years now. A place that has fueled my desire for activism, a place that has showered me with endless amounts of love and acceptance, a place that has prepared me for whatever future may lay ahead of me. But what if there was no future? There was no future for the 15 kids just like me massacred at Columbine High School. There was no future for the 10 kids lost at their place of education in Red Lake High School. There was no future for the 17 innocent children lost in Parkland, the 22 murdered in Uvalde, the 28 precious lives gunned down in Sandy Hook Elementary. All lives that could have very easily been just like me. And as much as I wish, these are not the only school shootings. We have seen recently with our very own Covenant in Nashville, Tennessee. On top of that, not 3 weeks later, a deranged gunman with a legally purchased and owned semi-automatic weapon murdered 6 people doing the dangerous task of depositing money in their checking accounts. Not 2 days ago, a shooter opened fire at a birthday party, killing 3 teens doing the dangerous task of having a sweet 16. And to top it all off, not a week after their first, Louisville, Kentucky experienced another mass shooting where 2 were killed after gunmen opened fire into a crowd at Chickasaw Park, a crowd partaking in the dangerous task of enjoying nature. The cold, hard reality is that while bullets, guns, and seemingly mass shooters are replaceable, the lives of these children are not. Hallie Scruggs, a 9-year-old attending Covenant School, can never be replaced by her mother. The bullets that took her life can. Javier Amir Rodriguez, a sophomore in a random Walmart in El Paso, can never be replaced. The bullets fired at him by a xenophobic extremist can. McKenna Lee Elrod, a 10-year-old trying to get an education at Robb Elementary School, will never be replaced. The bullet spraying from the legally bought gun that killed her can. With all of this, I ask the Commission, the voice of Knox County, the voice of the students at Farragut, the students at West, the students at Bearden, Fulton, Austin East, Hardin Valley, and many more. I ask you to be the voice and support Resolution R-23-4-907. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, Gabriela Sanchez Benitez, followed by Sophia Chin and Keith Britt.
Hello, Commission. My name is Gabriela Sanchez Benitez, 115 East Cottle Avenue. I'm here as a junior at Fulton High School. Like William Mendoza said, I was in pre-K when we first had to do a gun shooting drill. I was in 3rd grade when somebody in my community was killed at the hands of gun violence. Xavion Dobson, 15 years old, was killed outside of my high school. Out of respect to their families, I was not going to say the names of the 7 teens killed in 2021. 5 from Austin East, Anthony Thompson, Jamarion Gilead, Janariah Muhammad, Stanley Freeman Jr., Justin Taylor, and 2 from my own high school, Junior Santiago and Ricky Waters. I personally only knew Junior. He wasn't killed at school. Yes, bulletproof windows, armed guards may do something, but what happens outside of our schools? Who's gonna protect us outside of our schools? Junior had one of the sweetest smiles I ever saw, and he had dreams. He wanted the future of his life. They were deprived of their futures, deprived of what they could have become, deprived of their lives. Just last month, like some of the other teenagers have talked about, Tennessee experienced another tragedy. Evelyn Dickenhouse, Hallie Scruggs, William Kinney, deprived of their lives, opportunities, happiness, and the human right to life. We are said to be a country of opportunity, freedom, and rights. But what can be of opportunity when our lives are taken? What can be a country of freedom when we're tied down by fear? Fear that the next time we walk into a school, fear that the next time we walk outside, somebody is going to take our life. You all have the power to advocate further than we can. I can stand here and talk, but you guys can stand and talk to people that know people. I ask for you to vote yes on agenda item number 44 and show us that you care. Show us that you care for our futures. Show us that you care for our rights. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Sophia Chin. State your name and county of residence, and you have 3 minutes.
Sophia Chan, 11237 Kingston Pike. I stand before you as one of 50 million students in the US, 50 million K through 12th graders, and I want to focus on 350,000 in particular. And I know that number might seem small in comparison, that's 0.7%, but it's not, because that number is infinitely larger than it ever should be. That is the number of students that have experienced gun violence at their schools since the Columbine shooting in 1999. And that number has no reason to be anything but 0. And I can reference Columbine here, and everyone will know it. But I could also stand here, if I were not constrained by time, for 10 minutes and list every school that has experienced gun violence since then. And many of these tragedies have never reached your ears, because we've gotten to a point where a student killing one other student at school is barely enough to even make the news. And it's for those students, for current students, for every student in the future that we're fighting for this resolution. The fight to be heard and the fight to keep us alive. The fight to end the senseless violence of school shootings, something called a uniquely American epidemic. I've never been more ashamed and distressed to call something American. This resolution before you would help us to prevent yet another tragedy. It would help us prevent another classroom from becoming a graveyard. How have we let schools, a place meant for us to learn and have fun, a place meant to always be safe, become a place where children are taking their last breaths? A place where teachers put guns in their classrooms instead of books. Students are tired of false promises, and we're tired of apathy. We're sick of party lines being considered more important than our lives. We're tired of hearing thoughts and prayers after every tragedy and still seeing nothing change. We want to see action because we are scared of who will be next. Is my school going to become the next Covenant? Are my classmates going to die? Am I going to see my community wrecked with grief and anger? I hope with everything in me that I never see what I just described, and that's why I urge you to vote yes on this resolution. Protect our students and protect our future. Thank you.